The owners of the NFL told him the NFL wasn't going to expand. The only way he was going to get into the league was to buy a franchise. And the only franchise that was even considered to be for sale were the Chicago Cardinals. And he goes down to talk to the owner of the Cardinals in Miami, Walter Wolfner. And at one point, Wolfner boasted, look, Bud Adams down in Houston wants a team. There's people in Denver. There's people in Minneapolis. All these places want an NFL team. I don't need to deal with you. So Lamar Hunt shakes his hand, gets on a plane from Miami back to Dallas.
And then the thought occurred to me, and it was literally like a light bulb going off. Hey, if all of these people, me included, want to have teams in a new league or in pro football, why wouldn't a new league succeed? I asked myself that question, and then I thought, well, it will.
He gets some airline stationery and etches out the plans for this new league. This is how many teams, this is what the schedule's like, this is what the budget's going to be like. And then, typical of Lamar Hunt, he gets this great idea and tells nobody. And spends the next few months just very studiously, very carefully planning out how he's going to begin this new football league.
A new league was the least of the NFL's problems. Congress wanted NFL Commissioner Burt Bell to explain why his league should not be prosecuted as a monopoly. So when Bell learned of Hunt's plans, he decided it was time everyone knew about the budding American Football League.
And he asked if he could announce our league in these hearings. Now, he was doing it to get some heat off of himself. They were wanting to know, why isn't the NFL expanding? And so I said, well, sure, you go ahead and do that. And it got enormous attention because Burt Bell, in effect, announced that there was going to be a new league. Well, that was a lot better than having Lamar Hunt announce there was going to be a new league.
The most exciting new development on the American sports scene came to life in 1960 with the birth of the American Football League.
Pittsburgh drafted me in the NFL. Buddy Parker was a guy. Him and Bobby Lane came to my house, drunk. Was on my front porch about 5:30, woke me up. So we gonna draft you this morning. They were so drunk they were holding each other up in front of my house saying, the hell with that AFL. I don't think they knew my dad was a minister. He went out front. He said, well, you look, my dad was a big old black guy. Talk with a deep voice. You won't be going to Pittsburgh. I said, yes, sir.
The Reverend Haynes was far more impressed when he met Lamar Hunt, and so Abner signed with the AFL's Dallas Texans. Signing players was just part of Hunt's effort to build a team that could battle the rest of the AFL on the field, and that off it could compete with the NFL's Cowboys.
1960, the new American Football League became a reality. For on that night, the Chargers played host to the football team that was considered the best in the new league, the Dallas Texans. One of the finest faking quarterbacks in football today, Jack Kemp shows his artistry as he unleashes a 46-yard touchdown pass to end Ralph Anderson. Ralph Anderson, a great competitor. One of the outstanding offensive ends for the Chargers is Royce Womble, shown here on the receiving end of an 11-yard completion. Kemp shows his versatility. Finding no one to pass to, he elects to run and picks up 6 yards. Another versatile man in the Charger backfield is their great running back, Paul Lowe. Here, passing complete to Anderson for 24 yards. Again, Jack Kemp shows his lightning reflexes. He rolls out on this play around his left end for 7 yards, and watch him drive for that 6 points. The Chargers now threatening deep in the Texans' territory. Kemp fires a 15-yard bullet to Anderson, who fights for 5 more tough yards. On a great third down call situation, Kemp throws a touchdown strike to fullback Howie Ferguson. Is Coach Gilman happy? I'll say so. And the Chargers win their league opener, 20.
The Dallas Texans come to Houston intent on stopping the Oiler drive for the Eastern Division title. Cotton Davidson back to throw. But linebacker Dennis Morris picks it off for Houston and returns it 26 yards. Two straight planned passes to Bill Groman coming up now. This 21-yarder moves it to the Dallas 14. Blanda to Groman again. Good for 12 yards to put the Oilers in scoring position. And now the rip-on ripper, Dave Smith, fights his way in for the game's first touchdown. Minutes later, the Texans miss fire on this pitch out to fullback Jack Spikes. And before it's over, everyone but the paying customers has a shot at it. Former Wisconsin All-American Dan Lanfear comes up with a hot potato for the Oilers on the 7th. After a rushing play loses yardage, Blanda makes it look easy with a 9-yard toss to all-league end Groman in the Texan end zone, and the Oilers win it 20-10.
Two drives by former All-American Jack Spikes of TCU result in a Dallas 7-0 lead. This is short-lived, however, as a few seconds later, Trapuka passes over the middle to Taylor for a first down on the Dallas 47. And then Carmichael breaks through the line, then cuts back to go all the way to tie the game as the first quarter ends. After the Texans score again with a touchdown and a field goal, the Broncos attempt to emulate their previous week's comeback. Deep in their own territory on the Bronco 18 with 3rd and 16, Trapuka passes to Carmichael, who moves to the 40. And 2 plays later, the tripper hits McNamara from the Denver 45. He cuts back and down the western sidelines, eludes would-be tackler Carol Zaruba, and goes for the score to make it 17-14 with 8:48 left to play. A last-second field goal attempt, which goes awry from the Texan 29, almost enabled the Broncos to tie this one, but the final was Dallas 17, Denver 14. A real razzle-dazzle play, typifying the American Football League when Cotton Davidson pitches out to Abner Haynes. Haynes then laterals to Davidson on a ball that hits the ground first and fires a long pass into the end zone where Curly Johnson makes a fine catch as McNamara narrowly misses an interception. Texas won 34-7.
Their own 45-yard line. It's Butch Sungen to Miller. Miller out of bounds on the 50-yard line. With 5 minutes left in the half. The Patriots still in possession. Sungen looking for his receiver. It's Colclough in Dallas territory, down on the 46-yard line. In the next 3 minutes, the Patriots drive down the field. And it's the Patriots' ball on the 8-yard line. Sungen fakes, looks for a receiver, and it's away to Jimmy Colclough in the end zone for the touchdown. A beautiful fake with Christie pulling the defense to the right. Patriots 19, Dallas nothing. The Patriots converted and Dallas took the kickoff. Driving back until now, just seconds to go in the half. Dallas on the half-yard line. Ennis carrying. He made it, and the Texans break the ice. The half ended with the Patriots out in front, 20-7. In the third quarter, third down, 7 to go. Patriots ball on their 37. Christie and Miller in the backfield. Songen's pass to Johnson. That's Christie coming around for the handoff, down to the 41-yard line. Not quite enough for a first down, but the Patriots are on their way. A few plays later, 1st and 10 on the down pass, this time to Christie on the 6-yard line, but Smokey Stover right there to stop him. It's 2nd and goal to go for the Boston Patriots. Capoletti replaces Jimmy Colclough. Songen's pass this time to Joe Johnson in the end zone for the touchdown, and it's the Patriots ball game, 26-7 in the third quarter. Capoletti will attempt the extra point. It's a fake, a pitch out to Capoletti, runs the right side, and he's over for 2 points. After intercepting a pass in the third quarter, the Patriots take over on the 45. The handoff to Christie. Christie doesn't run, he throws to Tony Stevens. Down the sidelines, it's good. With a score 28-7, Patriots ball on the 25. The handoff to Crawford, and he breaks free around the right side. Look at him go all the way. The Wyoming Cowboy, Jimmy Crawford, in a sensational 38-yard touchdown run. In the last quarter, the score 42-7. No longer a question of who, only by how much. Dallas ball on the 5-yard line. Davidson to Abner Haynes. Capoletti drops him on the 3-yard line. 1 minute left to play in the game, and the Dallas threat just to close the gap. Robinson and Burford flanking for Dallas. Davidson handoff to Spikes, and he's over for a touchdown. Dallas converted, making it Patriots 42, the Texans 14. It's a jubilant crowd, and they want more. Less than a minute to play. Curly Johnson kicking off for Dallas. High and end over end. Ron Burton on the 10-yard line, and he's off. Watch him go. 25, 30, into Dallas territory, and Joe Bookman finally brings him down from behind on the 35. A 65-yard run back. Final score, Patriots 42, the Texans 14.